So today we will discuss aiming in Fortnite, mainly talking about why you are not improving even if you kovaaks and how to improve even though Fortnite has some unconventional aspects to it. First thing we need to understand is focus. You have two types of focus, peripheral and specific. Let's keep it easy. Peripheral is used when you try to see the big picture, for example whilst scouting. Specific focus and when you target on one specific detail inside picture. Let's take a fan as an example for a moving target. If you simply look at it, you can't really tell the blades apart, right? But if you focus on one singular one, it seems like it sort of slows down and becomes less blurry, right? Once this concept is clear, let's move into Fortnite. With all the building and stuff that is going on, you really easily shift into your peripheral vision because of everything that appears on your screen out of nowhere, leading you to look at your enemy and not focus on him. So our first step is to zone out everything else and just actively focus on our enemy. Then we have to understand that effectively every character model is the same and the skins don't change that. So basically you can imagine a Fortnite player as a geometrical shape. You see where we're going with this? If yes, good, here comes a twist. Open paint, close your eyes and imagine to track your enemy 3 times horizontally. Open your eyes, and are your lines straight like mine or do they have an angle? Because depending on how you hold your mouse, you have a natural angle, plus if you wrist aim, you also have a natural rotation in there. If your lines were straight, good. If not, here's a really nice program you can use to fix it. Simply play with the rotation degree until you find what fits you. Start with whole numbers and move into decimals. And luckily I do straight lines, so that is where my knowledge ends. Now we have kovaaks. We have our geometric shapes, but in most scenarios we miss one thing: different momentum. Because your enemy is definitely not moving at a constant speed every time. They might be sprinting, sliding, changing directions. But as you can see, we can all boil it down to more or less a line drawn at different speeds. Therefore, have scenarios with different speed and also have a D tracks in there. If you have no idea what it is when you yourself move as well, pressing A or D. So if you move with your enemy, you don't move your cursor as much. And last big thing, kovaaks is not the game, so don't focus on high scores or whatever. Focus on tracking, flicking, your specific focus, the eye-hand coordination. Scores will come with time. Small intermission: if you're enjoying the video, leave a like and maybe share, smiley face, plus read a comment. Now, building separates Fortnite from other FPS games, or other games generally. Because whilst everywhere else you can leave your cursor at head level almost the whole time, building and editing don't let you do that. For example, if you do a peanut butter edit like this, you will have to flick up, there is no way around it. The options you have are either just become a demon at flicking, or focus on your edits. Have tighter movement while editing so that you don't go off center too much to keep the flicks contained. And try to think ahead to where your enemy will be after you edit. Sounds insane, but let's say I stare at my enemy. I could do a mongrel classic like this, but my cursor is on the floor. So if I do it like this, not only do I have a right hand peak, but my cursor is in a better place. Just an example. You also can just hold your edit and then release it when your cursor is in a more optimal position. Personally, I just really slowed down my playstyle for a bit to see where I was doing stuff wrong. These clips were on 7% 1600 dpi and you can see that I really look slow, but it paid off. Now, if you have shaky aim, should you lower your sense? No, personally I don't recommend instantly lowering it. I prefer to first try to cure the root cause. Is your room cold or are your hands cold? Double socks or sit on your hands. If they're still cold, how can I express this in a family friendly way? Well, your balls are pretty damn warm. Do you get nervous? Chew gum, aim train, etc, etc. If you try all these things and still have shaky aim or want to experiment, change it. But know the advantages of every sense. Usually the lower you go, the more you trade your max for it. Or at least you will have a getting used to time. There are ways to find a baseline sense, but personally I'd say that if you can consistently hit a 180, that is a good sense, you then just have to practice with it. Personally I like 1v1 aim duels and box sight FFA pump headshot only. If you found this video interesting, please consider subbing, and I can highly suggest you watch this one as well, because it has some very good information if I do say so myself.